2019 paper MCQ, question number 25. Which of the following are properties of a signal? Which of the following are properties of a signal? Signal means basically moving data, right? Data at transit. Data at transit we call a signal. Gaman karamin tiyena data. Data at transit. Data at rest, it can be data or information, but data at transit is a signal. So data from one location is traveling to another location, right? Amplitude. Signal has different properties. Among them, amplitude means the power of the signal or the height of the view. Height of the view or power of the signal, we can call that is a amplitude. Then frequency means number of occurrences per second, number of repeating points per second. So if the wave start from here, to wave to come to the same position again, there is a one cycle, one round. How many such cycles are there per second is called frequency. How many cycles per second? How many waves per second? How many repetitive points if an event is repetitive? So frequencies are measured for repetitive events, right? So you can see Earth is actually, so Earth is moving. Right? Earth is moving and actually it's moving in a circular path. And then sun is like, we assume that sun is in the same location, right? So because of day, we have day and night. There's a frequency that is 24 hours. 24 hours, repetitive task. To sun to come again, it takes 24 hours. Right, then 1 hour means 60 minutes, a cycle. Every cycle, the minute is like minutes are counting, and every 60 seconds, the minute will, the same minute will occur. Right, that is 1 hour. Again, the seconds, same. Everything has a frequency. If it is a repetitive task, it has a frequency. In order to the same task to come to the same position, same place, the time taken is called, a frequency, because this is a cycle. Actually, time taken is called a cycle time. How many cycles per second is called frequency. That is the second property. You have amplitude, that means the power of the signal or the height of the signal. And the next thing is frequency. Right, and you have something called here to here, the gap between here to here is called wavelength. Wavelength means in order to come to the same place, what is the distance? The time taken. Because of that, what is the distance of this wave format is called wavelength. Okay, now we learn few properties. Amplitude A, how many occurrences per second, that is frequency. And what is the length of the wave? It is wavelength, right? Length of the wave is wavelength. And there's an equation called V equal F lambda in physics. V equal F lambda. F means frequency and lambda means the wavelength. So if velocity is constant, velocity is the speed. If velocity is constant, F and lambda is like interchanging. So that means, let's say F equal 2 and lambda equal half. F equal 2 and lambda equal half, then so this is actually 1. So lambda is measured in meters, and here this is seconds. So then you can say V is 2 meters per second, something like that, right? So here actually not me, yes, lambda, I'm not sure with lambda, the measurement, sorry, I cannot remember that exactly. Let me search, because I cannot give any incorrect information. But what are the measurement units? V equal F lambda is okay, but you don't have any calculations, don't worry. So V equal F lambda. And okay, let's go to the calculations. This is PDF calculation. Okay, so V equal F lambda. Here, yes, ms, meters per second. Meters per second, yes, that is correct. Yes, okay, sorry. I just measured frequency in a wrong way. This is meters, that is correct. Frequency should be per second, how many cycles? That means S minus 1. S minus 1 or 1 divided by the number of cycles. Sorry, 1 divided by frequency means how many cycles? No? 1 divided by the cycle time. Then you will get ms Reneka, ms minus 1. So that is basically the velocity. Tapparator meter. So that is how velocity is measured. But you don't have any calculations, don't worry. So I just want to tell that if lambda is length here, let's say lambda is 2 meters, to keep the same velocity, f is, let's say f is 2, lambda is 1 divided by 2, something like this, right? Lambda is half and f is 2. Then f into lambda is 1. So you'll get 1 meters per second, 1 meters per second as the answer. That is the speed of this wave, 1 meter per second. You can make wavelength කැලි කීයක් යනවද? wavelength එක භාගයයි නම් මේ භාගයව දෙකක් යනවා. ඒතර මීටර් භාගයව දෙකක් මීටරයයි. තප්පරයකට. හරි. තප්පරයකට මෙතන lambda කියන්නේ භාගයයි නම් lambda කියන්නේ half meters නම් C frequency එක කියන්නේ තප්පරයකට මේ වගේ කැලි කීයක් එනවද? ඒ වගේ කැලි දෙකක් එනවලු. There are two waves per second. 2 waves per second, and one wavelength is half. Then half into 2 is 1. So that is the speed, 1 meter per second. අපිට මීටරයට මේ වගේව දෙකක් wave කැලි දෙකක් එනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මීටරයක් යද්දි මේ wavelength මීටර දෙකක් මීටරයක් යනවා තප්පරයට, එක තප්පරයට. So that's the idea of this. And the next thing, okay, the next thing is, now let's increase the lambda. Sorry, decrease the lambda. Lambda mang adu karna mehem. Now lambda, let's say, is 1 divided by 5. So let's say lambda is 1 divided by 5. Okay, lambda is 1 divided by 5. Then in order to maintain the same velocity, this should propagate at speed of 5 cycles per second. 5 cycles, this is 1 cycle. Such cycles may wage kali pahak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, and 5.5. It is 1. Again 1 meter per second. There are 5 times. That means when wavelength decreases, frequency increase. Wavelength එක අඩු වෙනකොට frequency එක වැඩි වෙනවා. When wavelength increases, frequency decreases to keep the same velocity. I hope you understood that, right? When you increase the wavelength, what will happen? When you decrease the wavelength, what will happen? And this amplitude is regardless of this amplitude means the power of the signal. That is the amplitude. Okay, those are the main properties. But other than that, there's another property called pace. Pace actually measured by checking 2 signals. Let's say there are 2 sine waves. So this is wave number 1. And you can see the repetitive points here, here, maybe like there's another repetitive point here, 3, 1, 2. Okay, let's say this entire period is called 360 degrees. This is divided to 360 degrees, the entire wavelength time that you divide that to 360. 360 means, so let's say, let's take this wave as a 3D wave. Let's take this wave as let's take this as a 2D wave first. 2D wave. Then, so what is the deviation of the second wave from the first wave? Okay, let's say the second wave start here. Second wave starts here. Okay, can you tell me then what is the deviation? How many degrees? The gap between this and this. The whole part is, the total is 360. So here this is the peak. This is the peak and this is the land. This is the lowest and this is again the 0 point. Then this will be divided to 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So what is the size of this thing? 90 degrees. We call phase of this signal is 90 degrees. Phase means actually the first signal and the second signal, the interleaving. So what is the gap between the first signal and the second signal? We call that, right? We call that phase. Okay, those are the properties that we can see in a signal. So those are the properties that we can see in the signal. So amplitude, frequency, phase, and wavelength. Amplitude, frequency, phase, and wavelength. Others are not properties. Others are some other factors. Clock time is just fact about that, and time is a fact. Impulse is a fact. Those are other things, but mainly amplitude, frequency, phase, and wavelength are the properties of the signal. Okay, question number 26. Which of the following options contain only guided media? Which of following options contains only guided media? So it is, you can see guided. Guided means wired. So what is the answer for this?
Third one, coaxial, fiber optics and twisted pair.
Yes, coaxial, fiber optics, and twisted pair. Because infrared is light. Infrared is light. It's a low frequency light. Not that low frequency. So, but it's less than the visible range. So we cannot see that because it is less than the visible color range. Red is the lowest frequency color that is visible to us, and the infrared is even below that level, so we cannot see that. And which is again more than the violet frequency also, we cannot see that. That is ultraviolet. That is more than violet, ultraviolet, we cannot see. Less than red, infrared, that also we cannot see. But both are used for different purposes. Infrared we can use for night vision cameras, because night vision cameras can see infrared. And the other one is ultraviolet. UV is taken for scanning, ultrasound and different scanning, ultrasound scanning. Actually, ultraviolet is again used for some measurements. UV rays, ultraviolet filtering. Ultrasound is next, actually. Ultraviolet, not ultraviolet. Ultrasound is a separate one. Do not confuse with that. Ultrasound is beyond the sound. Sound වලට එහා යන එක තමයි ultrasound. Light එකට එහා යන එක, violet එකට එහා යන එක ultraviolet. So there's a difference. Okay. So then, which of the following options contain only guided media? It is coaxial, fiber optics, and twisted pair. Microwave is also a wave. Infrared can go only 5 meters, 10 meters range, but microwave can travel a long distance like 50 kilometers. Even satellites are using microwave. Both infrared and microwave are unidirectional. Unidirectional කියන්නේ එක දිශාවකට විතරයි යන්නේ. Both infrared and microwave are unidirectional. It's going only one direction. Okay, then the twisted pair cable is yes, it's twisted two wires. Fiber optics is basically the light transmission media. It's also wired. Coaxial is that is like antenna cable in your computer. Sorry, in your TV. The frequency modulation technique is used to change only the amplitude and frequency. So frequency modulation technique is used to change only the amplitude and frequency. Amplitude, frequency, and phase. Amplitude and phase. Frequency, frequency, and phase. So we discussed this in the networking lesson. Frequency modulation. Why modulation? I'm just drawing here. So when there's a low frequency signal like this, and if you need to transmit that, so let's take a sine wave. The easiest format is a sine wave. Otherwise, it's a bit difficult to represent because it has only two places. Let's take this as a sine wave. And this is your low frequency signal, which you need to transmit. But low frequencies can only travel a small distance. It cannot go far away. You need a powerful high frequency signal to do that. So that is called carrier signal. So we use another powerful high frequency signal, right? Let's say, and sorry, I'm just erasing this. I'm using a high frequency signal and I'm going to change the frequency. Here I have low frequency, little low frequency, little low frequency, more frequency, more frequency, more frequency, more frequency, more frequency, more frequency, low frequency again, low, very low frequency. Again, high frequency, high frequency, high frequency, high frequency. Again, low frequency, low frequency. Okay. Then, so frequency is changing, and okay. Then in here high frequencies, here very high frequencies, here high frequency, very high frequency, very high. So very high frequencies are coming in these places. This is where you can see the very high frequencies. When you see very high frequencies, actually this is called FM. The transport in media, or the you call carrier signal, or transport in media, or the carrier signal. In this transport media or the carrier signal, frequency is changed to represent this data signal or low frequency signal. May low frequency signal එක පෙන්නන්න මේ transport කරන media එකේ frequency එක වෙනස් කරනවා අපි කියන frequency modulation. Okay, the next one is amplitude modulation. That you use same frequency, same high frequency signal, but you increase the amplitude. Okay, the best, if I can draw here, same high frequency signal, but you are changing the amplitude of the signal, right? Something like this, amplitude of the signal. So that is how you transport the signal. You change the amplitude. That is called AM. Which is better, FM or AM? Which is better, FM or AM? Why FM is better? In amplitude modulation, in amplitude modulation, you change the amplitude of the signal. Sorry, not like this. It should come with a small wave. This is what AM. Why AM is not good? Any reason? You can see this is the sine wave. Why AM is not good? Amplitude change in amplitude modulation. Why it is not good? Okay, you can see here the power of the signal is very low, right? These places. Can you see? Signal power is, amplitude is very low. Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? When the power is very low, then what will happen? So in any media, there's something called noise. ඕනම මාධ්‍යයක තියෙන noise එක. Noise කියන්නේ මොනවා හරි නිකන් පොඩි magnetic fields, අනවශ්‍ය වෙන ශබ්ද, හුළඟේ ශබ්ද, ඒ වගේ පොඩි noise තියෙන. Okay, what will happen when the power of this signal is low? We can hear this signal, or we can feel the intersection of this signal with this signal. These places especially. These places, you can hear more noise. Someone AM channel අහලා තියෙනවා. If you heard AM radio channels වල අර හුළඟ හමනවා වගේ සද්දේ ටිකකින්. යාලා හුළඟ ගිහලා ඊට පස්සේ ඔන්න කතා කරන යනවා කියලා ආයෙ සද්ද ඇහෙනවා ආයෙ කතා කරනවා යනවා. This is how AM work. Because this low amplitude areas can be affected, because here you have the full frequency, full amplitude. Here you have full amplitude. Since you have the full amplitude, so the noise is similar in all the places. But here you have low amplitudes. When you have low amplitudes, so noise is overriding the signal. That is the issue. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we discuss about FM, AM, and what is PM, phase modulation. Phase modulation is changing the direction. The signal is rising up. Signal is rising up, so you go this direction. Signal is suddenly falling down. Signal is suddenly falling down. You change the direction. Signal is rising up. You change the direction. Signal is falling down. Change the direction. Signal is rising up. Change the direction. Right? Direction is changed, or basically the pace is changed when, so PM is also okay because it is also having the full strength, full amplitude is there. So PM is also a very good method of transmitting. AM, FM, and PM. FM is easier, right? FM is easier to actually for the technology. It's very good. So giving good sounds and all transmission mechanism. Therefore, most popular one is FM, which is used for radio channels. Right? Then asking frequency modulation technique is changing the frequency only. Frequency only. Frequency modulation is changing the frequency and the wavelength. It's okay, but here mainly the frequency. It's not changing the amplitude, not changing the pitch or the direction, changing the frequency only. Okay, I'll give you some time to calculate the next few answers. Question number 28 to 31. Please send the answers quickly. Which of the following is a valid example for PHP variable naming? Which of the following is a valid example for PHP variable naming? PHP variable naming basically begins with $sign. That's specialty. It's begin with $sign. So there's only one variable valid example, no? PHP, no? So there's only one variable. So that is $_name. So not other things, because other symbols are not valid. Only $ is considered as a valid one. Okay, so what is the binary equivalent to decimal for 54.25? So what is binary equivalent to decimal 54.25? Right. So that is because there's a number and the fractional point. The number you have to convert as a regular mechanism, 54. And then divide by 2 is 27. Okay, 54 divided by 7 is 27. And remaining 0 divide by 2, 1, 3, remaining 1, divide by 2 again, 6 remaining 1, divide by 2 again, 3 remaining 1, 3 remaining 0, 13, 6 remaining 1, 3 remaining 0, divide by 2 again, 1 remaining 1. So it is 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. What is that? 1, 1, oh, nothing is there. Am I calculated correctly? 54 divided by 2, 2 here, for 14, 7, 2, 7, 0. Okay, then 2 divided by 13, sorry, this is 21, and here's 13 remaining 1. Yes, that is correct. 32 plus 16, 48, 48 plus 4, 48 plus 6, 54. 110, 110, so 110, 110. I think answer is all right. Is it 3? 1010. Is it 3? This is 54. This is 32 plus 10 is no. No, not that one. Ah, there's another one. Sorry. My mistake. I have not checked this. It's covered by my chat. Sorry. That is my mistake. 110. 110. Yes, this one is there. Answer is there. 110 here. 110. 110. 110. 110. Yes, I didn't see because of the chat window. Sorry. 25. 0.25 you have to write as without 0. You have to write 0.25. Then multiplied by 2. So it is, when you multiply 0.25 by 2, that is 0.5. Let's multiply it by 2, that is 1.0. So it is 0, 1. You take this way. Then it is 110.01. And this is the correct answer. That is number 3. Okay, Senali, is your issue okay or still having problems, lagging? I think you still facing that lagging issue, right? Okay, so let's keep this to the next day now. Otherwise, like, you will be getting some errors in this. So let's postpone this to the next day. I'll discuss the remaining questions, question number 30 onwards from next day. Okay, otherwise you will be facing some issues. When listen to this one, you will not get it perfectly. Okay, let's keep it to the next day. Let's do that next day. Good night.